and welcome to this session. The hair strand test is a fundamental procedure performed by professional hairdressers to assess the condition and strength of an individual's hair before carrying out chemical treatments. This test is especially crucial for treatments like hair straightening, rebonding, smoothing, or any other chemical process that can potentially damage the hair.
Objectives. At the end of the session, you will be able to list the benefits and disadvantages of the strand test procedure, identify tools and materials required for a hair strand test, prepare the client for hair strand test, and perform a strand test procedure. Hair strand test. The hair strand test is a common procedure used in hairdressing and hair care to assess the effects of hair products, particularly hair dyes and chemical treatments. In a hair strand test, a small section of hair is taken and treated with the product or treatment that the beautician plans to use, such as a hair dye, bleach, or chemical treatment. The test strand is then observed to assess how the hair will react to a specific product before applying it to the entire head. Let's now see the benefits of conducting a strand test procedure. Predict the final result. The strand test allows the hairstylist to assess how the chosen hair color or chemical treatment will look on the client's hair before applying it to the entire head. This helps to avoid unexpected color outcomes and allows adjustments if needed. Avoid unwanted outcomes. By performing a strand test, hair professionals can identify potential issues or undesired results such as uneven color distribution or unexpected reactions between the product and the hair. Check for allergic reactions. It's essential to perform a patch test during the strand test to check for any allergic reactions to the hair dye or chemical treatment. This ensures the client's safety and prevents adverse skin or scalp reactions. Assess processing time. The strand test helps determine the optimal processing time needed to achieve the desired color or result without overprocessing or damaging the hair. Minimize hair damage. The strand test allows hairdressers to gauge how the hair responds to the chemicals used in coloring or treatments. This helps them adjust the formulation or choose a gentler approach if the hair appears to be fragile or damaged. Experiment with color. For clients who wish to try a new hair color but are uncertain about the outcome, the strand test provides a safe and controlled environment for experimenting with different shades and tones. Gain confidence. By performing a strand test and seeing the expected results, hair professionals gain confidence in their color choices and application techniques, ensuring a successful overall outcome. Save time and money. Strand test saves time and money by preventing color corrections or the need for extensive hair repair if an undesired result occurs during the full application. While strand tests are generally safe and beneficial, there are a few situations where it's not recommended, such as history of allergies, scalp irritation or sensitivity, recent chemical treatment, hair in poor condition, henna or metallic dyes on hair, young children, pregnancy, and medical conditions. Disadvantages of strand test procedure. While hair strand tests offer several benefits, they also come with a few disadvantages. Let's look at some of these disadvantages. Time-consuming. Performing a hair strand test can add extra time to the overall hair color or treatment process. This can be especially cumbersome for clients who are in a hurry or have limited time for their salon visit. Additional cost. Some salons may charge extra for performing a strand test, which can be an added expense for clients. Limited representation. A strand test is only a small section of hair and it may not fully represent how the entire head of hair will react to the color or treatment. There could be variations in the outcome across different sections of hair. Incomplete color representation. The final color on the strand test may not be identical to the color that will develop on the entire head, especially if the hair has been previously colored or treated. Potential inaccuracies. If the strand test is not performed correctly or with precision, the results may not accurately predict the final outcome. This could lead to unexpected results during the full application. Allergic reactions. While it's essential to check for allergic reactions, even with a strand test, it's possible for a client to develop an allergic reaction during the full application despite a negative strand test result. Let's now look at the tools and materials required for hair strand test procedure. You will need the following tools and materials such as timer, mixing bowl, spray bottle, spatula, setting clip, tail comb, applicator brush, saloon gown, shampoo, towel, conditioner, gloves, cotton, cream, relaxer, hair foil strip. Wash your hand before starting the procedure and put on gloves. First, seat the client comfortably on the chair. Before starting the procedure, have a thorough consultation with the client to understand their hair history, previous chemical treatments, allergies, and their desired outcomes from the procedure. Document the client's details, including their name, contact information, hair history, allergies, if any, and the specific product being used for the strand test. This information will be useful for future reference. Inform the client about the purpose and procedure of the hair strand test. Explain that it helps to assess how their hair will react to the product and provides valuable information before proceeding with the full application. Ensure that the client gives informed consent to undergo the hair strand test. Ask the client to remove any earrings. Drape the client with a saloon gown. Make sure it fully covers the clothing and fits comfortably around the neck. Place a towel around the client's neck to provide an extra layer of protection. Let's now look at the procedure of hair strand test. The procedure involves the following steps. They are: Step 1. Prepare the hair strand. Step 2. Apply relaxer. Step 3. Rinse the hair strand. Step 4. Compare the result. Let's now look at each step in detail. Start by combing the hair and then divide the hair using setting clip. Begin by selecting a half-inch square section of hair located at the back of the head. This area is ideal as it allows you to assess the results without it being highly visible. Here's a tip. Ensure that the hair strand you use for the test is clean and free from any styling products or residue. Wash the hair thoroughly and let it air dry before proceeding. Place a strip of foil or transparent plastic beneath the chosen strand. This protective layer will help contain the relaxer and prevent it from affecting the surrounding hair. Apply a thin layer of barrier cream or petroleum jelly to the client's scalp where the test will be done. This creates a protective barrier to prevent the relaxer from coming into contact with the skin and causing irritation. Before application, make sure to follow the manufacturer's instruction. Follow the recommended ratios and mixing guidelines. Gently and evenly apply the relaxer to the selected strand. Use a brush or applicator for precise application. Here's a best practice. Take care to coat the hair thoroughly, ensuring that all parts of the strand are covered with the product. To shield the rest of the hair from the relaxer, carefully fold the foil or plastic strip over the strand. This step prevents accidental contact and ensures that only the chosen strand is treated. Set a timer for the recommended processing time mentioned in the product instructions. Allow the relaxer to process on the strand for the recommended amount of time or until the desired degree of relaxation has been achieved. Precaution: do not exceed the specified duration to avoid overprocessing. After the processing time is complete, thoroughly rinse the strand with water from a spray bottle. Make sure to remove all traces of the relaxer from the hair. Gently towel blot the strand to remove excess water and relaxer. Apply a small amount of shampoo specifically to the treated strand. Massage the shampoo through the hair, ensuring it is cleansed thoroughly. Rinse the strand with a spray bottle, repeating the process if necessary until the strand is completely clean. Compare the treated strand with a section of virgin hair to assess the results. This step allows you to determine if the desired level of relaxation has been achieved. Analyze the condition of the hair, taking note of any changes in texture, strength, or overall health. Check for any signs of damage, breakage, or unwanted color changes. Record the test results and your observations in your notebook or client file. This documentation will serve as a reference for future treatments and can help you track the client's hair health over time. To prevent accidental reprocessing of the tested strand during the full service, liberally apply protective cream to the strand. This protective layer will act as a barrier and safeguard the tested section. Share the results of the hair strand test with the client, explaining how you will tailor the relaxer treatment based on their hair's characteristics.
This brings us to the end of the session. In this session, you have learned to list the benefits and disadvantages of the Strand Test Procedure, identify tools and materials required for a hair strand test, prepare the client for hair strand test, and perform a strand test procedure. Thank you for watching. See you in the next session.